I want to welcome Alicia Framis to our visiting artist talk at the Alternative Art School. Alicia, also welcome to the Alternative Art School, our online art school of working artists from around the globe. To introduce you, Alicia Framis, contemporary artist living and working in, as we discussed, Amsterdam. She develops platforms for creative social interaction, often through interdisciplinary collaboration with other artists and specialists across various fields. I have to tell you, Alicia and I worked together in 2004.
Yes.
And you, oh my God, what it was, we showed proposals. We showed your anti-dog dress, yes, which was a dress made of Kevlar, a high fashion dress for women to feel protected in the streets, made of Kevlar, it was golden. And then we also showed your proposals for various forms of burial, including a cemetery on the freeway with the names written on the stripes.
Yes.
There was a crematorium in a high-end fashion store, something like that, right?
Yes. Yes, was
I love your work.
Death to everyday life. Yes.
Yeah, the goal was to bring death into everyday life. But so listen, here's how it works. Alicia, you can talk about your work for about 30 minutes or so, and then we'll have some great questions from this great community. And I have to tell you, I love your work, and I'm so. Oh, we also worked at Creative Time in New York City in Central Park. So we've worked together a few times. It's great to see you. Welcome to the school, everyone. Give it up for Alicia Framis.
Okay, I will share the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought maybe to start in the last century, where I started to study in Paris. I studied in Paris in Beaux-Arts, and I thought it will be nice to know how an artist became a performer. And in my case, for example, I was a painter. I was already with 18 years old. I was selling my paintings, but I thought I had a crisis in my studio. I thought, art cannot be only my studio and be alone there. And then I thought I will try to change to other way of working where my canvases become the city. And my canvases, the city became my canvas. And then I went out. I stopped with painting, and I started to work with people in the city, in the street, and places, And this was my start as a performer. I must say, when I was young, I did it most. I did a lot of performance alone, but I enjoy the most performance in collective performance. This one, now I want to talk in Amsterdam, where I started to do my master after, and this is the Dam Square. I don't know if you had the opportunity to visit the Dam Square. It's the most famous square in Amsterdam. Is many people there, and the good thing in this square is that it's a mix of people. You can see people from from the city, but you can see homeless, tourists. It's really a mix of people, and the most important is the place where all demonstrations and reclaims, the most famous, are in Netherlands. And then what happened in this square, you can see this sculpture is a sculpture that was made, a monument that was made for the Second World War. And in 95 or 97, they put it away because they had to have a renovation of this monument. And then many people reclaim that the monument don't come again, because was about the Second World War, and then was a big conflict of politicians, of course, and citizens, what to do with this monument. In my case, I thought, okay, as an artist and a performer and collective performance, I would like it to make a living sculpture that in this moment was not so many living sculptures in art history. And I made a living sculpture with 300 people. I make a tower to reclaim that the most important in this square was the people, was not the sculpture or the monument or whatever, was the people that was living the square. Then I had to bring 150 people from Spain that they are specialized in this tower. And the most difficult for me was to say to them they had to dress normal, not with their outfits. And this was a big discussion for 3 months, but in the end, they understood that they had to be part of the city and the citizens. And then I found 150 people that they wanted to be the base of this sculpture, living sculpture. And this performance or collective performance was called Walking Monument, because was my demonstration to say that that the most important of a square is always the people, not the monuments. I want to show you too this performance that is called Walking Ceiling. Again, it's a collective performance. I talk to women. I really work with, I never work with actors. I always work with real people. And in this case, I wanted to make a performance, a demonstration again, because I work a lot with demonstrations and new ways of making demonstrations. And I wanted to make a performance about glass ceiling. Is something that I hope you don't feel yet, but when we become older artists and other kind of professions, women, we know that is a glass ceiling that we can see, the power and places where we could be, but because of women, we cannot in the end, no? Then I made this performance.
Wow.
It's 80 kilos of glass.
That's so intense. Wow. Okay, there you are. Oh my God.
And yeah, this performance, we wanted to make, of course, to make the other one, the walking ceiling in the around Alcalá 31, that is a center of art in Madrid. But of course, because of safety, we couldn't do. Then we did it inside the building. But of course, was much nicer to see in the street. And then I would love to talk to you about some performance that I did in different buildings in 2005 and 2006, and was performances that were called Secret Strike. Secret Strike was a silence performance that I did, for example, in this case, ZARA. I don't know if you know ZARA, I'm sure you know ZARA is the most important enterprise in Spain of clothes, and maybe on the wall, from the wall, is in the text. Secret Strike, ZARA is based in the north of Spain, and they have the headquarters. Then I went there and I say, I would love to do Secret Strike here. I say to them, I would love that to make a performance with everybody that is in this building. That was around 3,000 people. And I said, Secret Strike, in fact, is to claim 5 minutes of silence to think what we are doing with our lives. After that was a big crisis. Of course, we know 2008, and this was a kind of premonitory experience now because what happened is in 2005, 2006, I made a performance, this performance in many places to say, okay, maybe we have to stop and we have to think for 5 minutes what we are doing with our life. Everything, it was so stressed and doing, but in fact, we don't have time to think what we were doing. This is one small part of the performance. This is the place where they collect all clothes that they go after. What I did is I freeze everybody from the building. After that, this became viral, and many people did it in Instagram and Facebook. But in 2005 nobody was doing this, and because the performance in fact was to be freeze to stay freeze for 5 minutes. Place where you were working. We just had a steady sound and someone for sound. And these secret strikes were made in Tate Modern in London, Rabobank. Rabobank is one of my best collectors in Holland. Therefore, I could ask them to let me be in the headquarters and experiment because it was the first secret strike. I did in Bordeaux, in Bangkok Museum, in Tokyo. And here we can see the bank that was very nice. This because the most important of secret strike is that it was not about power, was about existentialism. In this case, what I mean is, for example, in these secret strikes, for example, in this one in Rabobank, what I ask, and the most important part for me of the video is that was the board doing the performance, because it's not about power. It means, like a strike is always, like the workers against the boss. In this case, is everybody had the chance to do strike, no? And therefore this board, in the end they say yes, and it's a very famous video because yes, you could see the board of one of the most famous banks in Holland doing a performance.
Like still 25-15.
This was difficult to freeze because they were the stock market.
70-40 just passed out there. 65, 67, Italien 30, 67, time on us. Yep. Ja, was? Ik wacht even bij de antwoord. Als ik dit weer uitbreid. 65, 67.
That's cool.
I'm only showing 1 minute from each video, just that you have an impression. And this is the work that NATO was talking, that is these anti-dog demonstrations I did in many countries against domestic violence or violence towards women. And this is the Palais de Tokyo in Paris. We did the first catwalk of dresses, bulletproof, fireproof, and dog-proof in the wall. Was the first collection. And then with this collection, in fact, we went to the street and we made many dresses, 25. Where it was not easy because this fabric is not easy to work. It's not made for dresses. And yeah, with this, I represent Holland in the Venice Biennale in the Dutch pavilion. And yeah, and after that, the work was still going on for some years. Here is, for example, in Birmingham, we were in, and the most important for me is that in each city is very different performance. We cannot say that the performance anti-dog can be the same in Madrid or in Birmingham or in Helsingborg or in London, because in each city is a kind of violence. And in each city, I interview a group of women, maybe 50, 100, 25, depends, about what they think about if was violence in their cases, and what we could do a nice demonstration, that we don't copy the demonstrations that men do. We do a demonstration that is unique and is can connect to us. And then, for example, in this case in Birmingham, they told me that for them the most important was the words. The words became too aggressive, and therefore we make these copyrights of sentences that they don't want to hear anymore. And we took the space of this square in Birmingham. And this is the Venice Biennale, where we made demonstrations too. We made these demonstrations anti-doc from the pavilion. We were out walking. And I thought to show one of my favorite works as a performer, how to say, that I did myself, is Dream Keeper. This work belongs now to, I will never say the name, but we will see later. This performance I did is called Dream Keeper. The Dream Keeper, for 1 year I signed with myself that I am a Dream Keeper. Then everybody from different countries, they could call me, everybody could call me if they feel lonely in the night. The most important is that they had to live alone and they had to feel lonely. Then I travel, of course, most in Europe. And at 11 o'clock, I was in the house of this person and I keep the dream. I had a dress special, therefore I think I became my obsession with dresses and outfits for performance. And in this case, I made a dress that, yeah, I could sleep with at the same time. In the same time, when I was Dream Keeper, I never sleep. I let the person sleep and I keep the dream. You can ask me what happened in the night, but what we did normally is when I enter in the house of someone, of course, this person was very afraid of me. And because, yeah, he don't know me or she don't know me. And then I try to have a kind of empathetic moment and make a kind of bounding in between. And then the person could sleep. And all night, what I did is artwork. I made an artwork in the house of this person. Normally, I sew a sentence in the curtains or in the cloth, one of the clothes of him or her. And yes, and maybe I wish it always that they could find it. My artwork, especially for them, that I made especially for them. And then I did this work for 1 year. At the same time, when the person slept, I say to them, I will make one photo with a kind of machine, maybe you don't know, but it's a Mamilla, it's an analog photo machine, photo camera. And what I did is I let open the diaphragm all time that this person was sleeping. Then very weird photos came from that. No, you can see one in the back, and it was very interesting photos. You could feel that something human, or from I don't know, was very interesting photos. Then this work was sold to Hirschhorn Museum. They bought everything. They bought the photos, they bought the dress, the diaries, the posters, everything that I could, all archive of Dream Keeper. I must say I'm super happy because I think it's one of my best works as a performer, because in this moment, of course, the performance was very much about I'm the performer and you are the public, no, or the audience. And sometimes you can interact. And with this performance, what I really wanted is that the audience and me was in the same level. I mean, for me, it was very important that when I enter in the house, someone can kill me, but I can kill him. you know, like we were in the same power game, and we were, our relation was one-to-one. Of course, I had in this moment many criticism for this performance because nobody could see the performance, but I think this is the important part of the performance, that is really for this person, you know, was very special for this person. And of course, I couldn't do too much. I mean, I did it for 1 year, but it was very, very tiring for me.
I can imagine.
And I don't know if you want to know about how I teach this, but it's fine. And yes, and I think I talk a lot already.
You're amazing. I mean, I think we can maybe just open up some questions for you, Alicia. Is that okay?
Yes.
Here, let's we can stop the share just so we can see everyone's faces.
Yes, yes.
And then also, I mean, for the record, I haven't seen that the glass ceiling piece.
Yes.
But wow, what a knockout piece. Wow. It's really elegant. I was so scared. I mean, I was like, is the glass, I mean, it's so obvious, but like, aren't they afraid the glass is going to break? Can I ask that? Is that just a
Yes,
dumb
yes.
question?
I think everybody was really in silence because we always had the feeling that will break. But of course, if breaks is not a problem, you know, because this glass that they will not break in parts, you know, not breaking.
Oh my God. It's
But,
really good. It's so good. Don't worry, it's spam. But well, listen, Alicia, I think like I'll turn it over to the crew here to ask questions, but to launch with a very simple, and I know you get this question all the time. You know, you work between performance, sculpture, fashion, many hybrid qualities, but certainly the other part of that is, I would say, endurance. Many of these projects require so much of your energy and time. You know, when you say I worked on this for 1 year, that's your life. That's not just like a project. So let me just ask you, in terms of your relationship to your commitment to these things, A, why was it important to spend so much time on them? And B, has that changed over the years? I mean, you know, at some point it's, oh yeah, Amber says, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I want to just ask about your kind of commitment emotionally, personally, as a body in your work.
yes, I think I must say maybe I'm a classic artist in the way that I think art is an obsession. Therefore, we are. I think art, you cannot work. You cannot make art in the weekends. Therefore, we are totally devoted. I think it's very, to be an artist is very similar for me as a nun. But of course, we have sex. But but the obsession, you know, and the commitment is there. I think you cannot do this thing half, or you are in or you are out. And we work all day. I think artists, we work all the time. The mind is all the time thinking and seeing and watching and judging. Yes, I think for me,
I can't tell who's hardcore. Like, I was just thinking when Tanya Bergera and you can have a team called
yes,
really in their work, like really like
yes, yes.
we're in.
We
Hey,
are in.
Renata has a question. I'll turn it over to you, Renata. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, I have just written down a question. I was very surprised by seeing the word secret in the title, Secret Strike. And then I was just wondering, is it something that everybody keeps as a secret and never makes it public? So you go there and allow them this 5 minutes for the secret to become public? That was question number one. And number two, about this same performance, or as you like to say, demonstration, the 5 minute exactly, is it related to a time frame that is frozen? That's what we see in some of the takes. Or it's related to a 5 minute that you give to the thinking of it, because it got, you know, a little difficult for me to picture that, except from when you said, well, we're going to stop for 5 minutes. But are they thinking or are they just frozen? So there are two questions, the secret and the 5-minute thing.
I think you got me. Yes, I wanted to do this secret because I think everybody in fact did it in their own, like these moments of thinking what I'm doing, is I'm really doing what I want, or therefore I think was a kind of I think artists we do a lot is making visible the invisible. Therefore, in fact, I wanted to make visible this thought of this action, secret action. And the second, maybe I froze them for 5 minutes because I thought maybe in their mind is, in fact, we are kind of robots when we are working in an enterprise. To say 5 minutes, or maybe it's my Dutch part that I thought I have to say to them 5. I think 3 was too little. Too little, yes.
Great. Well, thanks for the question. Go ahead, Etche.
Hi, and thank you share your works. And I want to ask the same question, they are frozen or not, but now I know the answer. Another thing is your performance turned into sculptures. I guess they are like sculpture for me. They're also like painting because they are static. Some of videos for I Can Talk. Do you make painting at all? I want to ask.
I must say that you touch my weak point because I have behind me in my back already for 1 year, NATO, I'm sure you know him, Jerome Sanz, one curator, that he said all the time, you have to make painting. You have to paint. You have to do, and therefore I'm trying to do something now as painting, but it's not really painting, but it's, I'm still developing.
In my opinion, I think you don't have to make painting. Why you have to? Because also your performance is like painting, they are static in my idea.
Yes,
what I saw. And maybe you imagine your performance like that. I don't know. Maybe it could be another question. You imagine like painting, or it happens like that in a poetic way somehow.
Yeah, I think my performance are like Catherine Wood say, the curator from performance. He said is in the end become an object. Performance become a kind of object.
Mm-hmm.
And
it
could be a sculpture, but
question.
can be a painting, or can be. In fact, I'm thinking it's true. I'm thinking a lot about the image, how we look like.
Yeah,
I like that. Mark says, and I'm just going to also read some of the questions in the chat. Says, I'm tuning in from Birmingham. Was your work there with a gallery or festival?
No, was there with the Icon Gallery. I think it's a place from the city. That was, Watkins, the director. I don't know what.
Yeah, Jonathan
Watkins. Yes.
Yeah, he's just finished, actually. He's just stepped down, but he's been the director of Icon for a long time.
Yes, maybe because of age he's retired. You mean?
Yeah, I think so. Yes. Yeah. I hope you had a good time in our city.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Give my greetings.
Rebecca McGee Tuck says, and then I'll go to you, Suprio. Rebecca McGee Tuck says, I want to say how inspiring it is to see your crowd performances. What powerful work. I also agree that art is an obsession. I must leave for a meeting, but wanted to thank you for your talk.
Thank you.
Okay, well, she's not even here, but thank you, Rebecca McGee Tuck. Suprio, go ahead. You had a question.
Yeah, hello. It was really nice to see the works, the performances, but I have a question about one of the work I remember that you made inflatable dress. It's
Yes,
like white. I think something like life dress or something was the
yes.
title of the work. So
What's the
I
name
want
of
to,
sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I want to know, like, how do you see those works, like being a performer when the body is not there with the dress, and the dress just stays there with those mannequin? And how do you see this transforming one sculptural piece and even sometimes shifting to the performance pieces? Like, how do you see this differences, or is this same for you, like the sculptural pieces and the performances?
Yeah, I have an answer for you. It's like when I did first the Walking Monument in '97, I have only one photo from this performance because I was so pure as an artist that I say, no, it's a performance and disappear, and for me it's over. But then with the years, I discovered that, one of my galleries told me the problem is if the things disappear like this, you don't give a chance first to people to see and to enjoy, and second to maybe to frame it and put it at home, because in fact, who can pay for a performance? Only museums. Then it's a kind of, suddenly you become a kind of elite artist. Only museums can pay your performance. Then I thought, it's true. I really like to democratize art, that maybe, therefore in this case, like live dresses, I made a performance with the dresses and with real women, in offices. But then after I made I thought, okay, I make installation with the dresses, and people can buy one dress or two dresses, or, I make a photo. For me, I think was a process of understanding, and of course, we have to be honest. For me to sell a dress helped me to make another work, therefore I have to maintain my work and my new works. I want to be independent too. I don't want to I have to make my money to be able to make other work. And yes,
At the school, we're all about
yes.
making a life of art, and part of
Yes.
life, making a living.
Yes, making a living is really important. Yes. I just talked to a student here that he's making performance, but he is making performance in how to say, in a stage. Then he find a way to make money with this, Therefore, I think we have to find a way to make money, and money is good. Money is energy.
Well, thanks for that. And thanks, Supriya, for the question. Anyone else want to chime in? I mean, Alicia, I got just, okay, go ahead, Danielle.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Alicia, for giving us this insight into your work. I was really struck, I had to write this down. I was really struck by how tender you actually are, like the sense of care that you have for the people with whom you're working through all of these pieces. There's like this deep empathy, and just how poetic the work is also. My question for you is, when I first came on, you and I were chatting just a little bit, and you mentioned that you were collaborating with somebody in the same general location as to where I am. And I'm just curious, would you like to talk a little bit more about what that is, or is it still under the wraps? Is it still in progress?
Yes, with Anika, you mean?
Yeah.
Because Neto, I just met someone in Spain that Anika, I told you, Anika, one moment, I let you know, Anika Cupetelli, and is an artist that she's teacher in the University of Art in Michigan. I forgot, in Michigan, in Detroit. And then She loves fashion. I don't like the word fashion. I prefer garments as part of art. And then she's teaching there this. And then I say, oh, I want to make a group of, I don't mind, can be women, men, whatever. I mean, no problem. Everybody is welcome. I would love to make a show that is called Garments and Rights, and how through clothes we can ask for our rights. But I think, Neto, you are very good. We made one for Masmoka, very nice.
Yeah.
Therefore, you know how we could make a show, and then we are working in this, preparing the, you know, like the concept and how we can invite people, and it's all about garments and rights.
Will you be coming to the States to
Yes,
do that?
yes, and then she will invite me. She's trying to invite me there as a teacher, and yes.
Well, I will keep an eye
touch.
out because I will come to that. I will help.
I got a feeling you will be seeing Danielle when you land in the fair Midwest. Is my
Right.
gut.
Good,
My-
thank
my-
you.
Anyone else? Some comments, thoughts? Cloudy, I know you do. I know you do. I don't know what's going on where you are, but I know you, Cloudy. Come on.
I know I joined in late, so I missed half of it. Sorry about the presentation, and I hope that it will be a recording.
Of course.
But I do have a little question actually that is like buzzing in my head. Okay, I'm gonna turn this back on. Sorry. Hold on. Start video. Hello, Alicia. Alicia or Alicia? I don't know how you say it.
More difficult, Alicia.
Alicia, oh my God, okay. Alicia, sorry. So, you know, like I just saw the last couple of images and I came into the dream project that you were doing.
Yes.
You know, one where you know, go and keep the dreams of people, and I thought it was really poetic. But then you said about the, you know, very sensitive to power dynamics. So when you talked about power, I thought my antenna went up, and I'm not really sure though. I like to argue what you said about the power dynamic entering in somebody's home. I think it's very complex. I don't know. I don't know. That's the thought that I had, and I wanted to, you know, something that makes me think when a stranger enters somebody's home. I mean, how does that feel? You know, there are power dynamics in different ways, aren't they?
Yeah, but they asked me to come.
Okay.
No, they could, for example, I was 3 months in Manifesta in Luxembourg. Then people could call the museum there and say, oh, I want the dream keeper come to my house. You know, then somebody made the appointment for me, and therefore was somebody, they had to ask for that. Therefore, yeah, it's difficult to know that someone that you don't know is coming, but we have to trust art.
But you, as a woman, I think I'm also thinking as a woman, you know, like going in someone's home as a woman, how does that feel? Not knowing where you're going.
Yeah, I was a little afraid, but I think not so much. I was maybe too young and too naive, but I must say the problem, I had most problems with women than men.
Oh, can you give us some gossips?
No, because or they attacked me, or no, attack me, but they want something else. I say, no, you don't understand the concept. Then I decided not to drink with them, because I think if they drink, they are more, maybe they cross some borders.
But
That's a different project if you go to their house and get drunk with them.
Yes. Drink keeper.
Drink keeper. But can I just ask one last thing? Sorry, I mean, of course, it opens, I think, a massive conversation. But how did you? I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking of, I'm going to somebody's home. I might prepare myself with some, you know, like maybe have a spray pepper or something. I mean, did you think about that?
No. No.
Okay, so it was really
was really like,
Then-
yes, I trust. And the nice thing, I have to tell you, the most beautiful part is that, of course, I remember them very well. And they remember me very well. Then imagine, no, suddenly, after 4 years, I was walking in the street and I saw one of them, you know, and they look at me and was like, wow, if you saw someone very, very important in your life, because it was very unique, no?
Yeah.
And
So what kind of people? Okay, do we have some more time, Nato? Can I ask more questions?
Yeah, go on, get in,
I
go
don't
get
wanna
in. I knew I'd open the door. Go ahead.
I want to know everything. So, but I'm wondering also what kind of people, you know, invited you to their own home. I mean, I think there's also like, and was there a procedure like to apply?
yes, I had because, for example, in Manifesta, no, was in the Museum of Luxembourg, was announced, and therefore I was protected already, I think. Yeah, of course, many people, they were people from art, or they know, you know, they know what performance means or something. Or then what was very beautiful, people that call for somebody else. For example, one person say, yeah, my mother is drunk, is alcoholic, and she's very lonely. My father died. Can you be one night with her, for example? I did this. Some people, they coming for someone else.
Okay. Wow, amazing. How many people, how many dreams did you?
Oh, I did. I think I did in total like 45, but was very physically very
Yeah.
good for me,
Yeah.
because I
You
had
know,
to stand all night.
I always want to give awards in the arts for things that deserve awards, but no one gives them. And one would be most commitment to your art. You know, like the 2022 winner of most commitment to their art. Or like, you know, I feel like there's a lot of things artists do that don't necessarily always go appreciated.
Yes.
But it's important to recognize.
But maybe we can start something like this, because, you know, like Superflex, they did this book about the bad critics that you think will be never out, this book, and what's there? It's there now that you can read the most terrible critics.
Well, I think the art world always, oh yes, go ahead, Mark, go ahead, ask a question.
Thank you. So when I was watching the video of the silent strikes, and there's like loads of people involved in it, everyone just seems so committed. So I was kind of like, I was just interested in the process to get everyone on board. So in the videos for the secret strike, the silent strikes.
Yes.
So there was the different spaces, but everyone in the shot was, you know, was playing along like properly kind of thing. So I was just kind of interested in how you go about to sort of get everyone on board, really.
Because I work very hard in situ before, you know, I talk to everybody.
Okay.
To everybody, and I talk, for example, the how to say, the coordinator of people. Then we went to see the people, and then I talked to them. Then maybe it was a very long process, you know, to talk. And I say to everybody who don't want to be in the film, is fine. You know, they just have to disappear from the room when they know we are passing with the camera, and it's fine. No worries. But in the end, almost everybody wanted to be there. Almost everybody, because it was a kind of, went out of what they do normally to be there in the bank, or in, you know, in ZARA, or even the people from the Tate, they don't mind. I only had for example, problems in the Tate. The cleaning ladies don't wanted to be there. And then I had to be myself. I had to do it myself, because I don't want actors, but I thought, I have to have one person that in their place, and I decided to be myself.
Okay.
But I work a lot before with them.
Over weeks or months?
Sorry?
Sorry, over weeks or months, or like what kind of time frame?
I work in the bank. I work maybe like I went there for 3 months, but not all the time. because they had maybe places where they had the drinks, Fridays, very typical from banks. Then I was there, I talked to the people, then we put papers everywhere that I'm coming, and then I did a lecture about the work, and yes, was
It's brilliant. It's so effective because literally everyone's in the zone, aren't they? It's like, yeah,
Yes.
amazing.
And then I give to them a copy, and then I give in the bank they had in the headquarters they still have one screen with the video. In ZARA, they have the screen, and then they told me, oh, 2 of them they are dead already, and you know, therefore they become old, even the people, you know.
Well, listen.
Thank you.
Let's all give it up to Alicia Framis.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much. We'd love to have you back at the school. Your presence is so great.
Thank you.
Please be in touch. I'm going to be in touch with you separately. Everyone, thanks for the great questions, participation. It's so meaningful to see meaningful art in the world. I feel like it embodies so many different tendencies that are at work at the school. So thanks for everything you do, Alicia.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. And don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. It's a lot of pleasure.
Artists around the world, teaching artists around the